It is Monday, November 25th, and I'm just wondering if we will see a wackier game this year than the Cowboys versus Commanders Sunday in Washington.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
For more than 3 decades, Bob's Steak and Chop House has remained an icon of DFW restaurants. Why? Well, maybe it's because of Bob. He's fanatical about cleanliness and friendliness, and his food, oh my Lord, his food. If you've been there, you know about it. If you haven't been there, you should know about it. The original Bob welcomes you at either of his 2 locations, Bob's on Lemon Avenue or the sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney.
First, a couple of lingering questions, I think, answered by the Cowboys' 34-26 win over Washington as 10.5-point underdogs yesterday. First, people kept asking the last few weeks, this Cowboy team has quit on Mike McCarthy, haven't they? Well, the answer is no. And then the question is, well, why aren't the Cowboys starting Trey Lance over Cooper Rush at quarterback? Well, you saw the answer yesterday. Listen, Rush is simply a better player than Trey Lance. And that the coaches aren't starting Trey Lance, I think, is significant. That what they see every week in practice for the last year and a half tells them Cooper Rush is the better quarterback. Yesterday, Rush 24 for 32, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 247 yards, and a quarterback rating of 117. That rating of 117, the second best this season by a Cowboy quarterback, only behind Dak Prescott's performance against the hapless Giants earlier this season. By the way, it might be a pretty good idea to start working on a contract to get assigned as a backup quarterback to Dak next year, because he's free after the season's over. And people watching him last year, and now that he's knocked the rust off this year, I think might suggest that they could go after Cooper Rush to be their backup quarterback. What a ridiculous game. What a ridiculous game. What a miserable first half by both teams. Virtually unwatchable. Dallas' first 5 possessions of the game ended this way. A blocked field goal after a Jalen Tolbert drop that would have given him the first down and continued the drive. And then the next 4 possessions, a missed short field goal, a lost fumble, a snap over the head of quarterback Rush that lost 12 yards and ended that drive, and then a partially blocked punt. But I believe the key to this victory for the Cowboys yesterday was that Washington did virtually nothing with those Cowboy mistakes. Presented with good field position, drive after drive after drive, Washington could only muster 3 points after all those Cowboy mistakes. Only 3 points. Now, the third quarter of this game wasn't much better. After that scintillating 3-3 game at halftime, Dallas got a 10-9 lead going into the fourth quarter thanks to a missed extra point by Washington kicker Austin Siebert, who also missed a field goal in the first half. But that Dallas touchdown in the third quarter, it was their first third quarter touchdown this year. That's right. In the Cowboys' 11 previous games, they had not scored an offensive touchdown in the third quarter. But then, suddenly, as the fourth quarter dawned, this game exploded. But through three quarters, still only 19 points in the game. What a snoozer. But at least Dallas in the third quarter scored an offensive touchdown. Their first third quarter offensive touchdown this year. 11th game, first touchdown in the third quarter. Yikes. But Dallas was also helped by a very shaky official's call that ruled no fumble when Jalen Brooks was hit hard and what would have been a Washington first down at the Dallas 16 was not allowed. Suddenly, this game broke open. Fireworks everywhere. A 24-yard touchdown pass to tight end Luke Schoonmaker for the Cowboys. Washington, which had been inept most of the game moving the ball, rushed 7 plays, 70 yards for a touchdown, and their 2-point conversion left them down only 3 points. And then a 99-yard touchdown return by Cavante Turpin. This little dude is good on kick returns. And then Washington got an 86-yard touchdown pass in the waning seconds from Jaden Daniels to Terry McLaurin to make it 27-26. All Washington had to do was kick the extra point. And Austin Siebert missed. No, he just didn't miss. He hit somebody having a beer near the corner of the end zone. That extra point must have missed by 5 yards. And now, well, this snaps a 5-game Cowboy losing streak. Thursday, another ridiculously bad matchup for the Giants. Suddenly, this could be a Cowboy 2-game winning streak. Now, some folks are going to grumble that this is costing Dallas draft position, and that's true. But inside the locker room, with the coaching staff, they don't care about draft position. They care about winning a football game, anywhere, anyhow. And at the final gun, it seemed like it had been forever since we saw Dallas coaches and players smiling. Next, how the college football playoff drama is unfolding.
Mary and I are Crest Cadillac people. For what, about 15 years now?
That's about right. Crest Cadillac XT4. Perfect size, perfect ride for us.
Crest Cadillac at 121 on the Tollway in Frisco now has terrific offers on the Cadillac Lyrique and the soon-to-be-available all-electric Escalade. GM Mike Brusen's team is fantastic to work with, so join Mary and me as
Crest Cadillac people.
Wow, what a weekend in college football. The championship hopes of Texas A&M disappeared. So did those of Alabama, Mississippi, Colorado, and Army, though Army couldn't have had much in the way of playoff championship hopes, but they sure did have playoff slot hopes. After the smoke had cleared, SMU has moved into the top 10 in the country. SMU. should they beat either Miami or Clemson in the Atlantic Coast Conference Final, it's very possible SMU gets a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Who could have ever foreseen that? Now, to finish, I've got an amazing note for you, and this is thanks to my handicapper friend Mark Lawrence in Florida. Now, I've updated the note he sent out last week, but I'm going to give you the names and ranks of 12 college football teams this year. I'll go slowly. This note applies to number 3, Texas, number 8, Miami, number 9, SMU, number 10, Indiana, number 12, Clemson, number 18, Tulane, number 20, A&M, number 21, UNLV, number 22, Illinois, number 23, Colorado, number 24, Missouri, and number 25, Army. 12 of the top 25 teams in the country. What do all those ranked teams have in common? Texas, Miami, SMU, Indiana, Clemson, Tulane, Texas A&M, UNLV, Illinois, Colorado, Missouri, and Texas A&M. And Army. What do they all have in common? None of those top 25 ranked teams this week in the AP poll, none of them have ever beaten a team ranked in the top 25 this year.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Sooner, Better Lifestyle. And by Crest Cars. There's good, there's better, and then there's Crest. And by Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. If you enjoyed what you heard, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will be delivered to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you know someone who might enjoy our work, please share it with them. I'm Norm Hitzges, and I'm always just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.